Welcome to this episode of Mercy Can Stop Her, the podcast where we share the stories of women's resilience through chaos, crisis, and the challenges of life. I am your host, Judith Kambia Obatusa, JKO. This episode is a special episode because I'm just giving an update on one episode that we had in May, Nicole's domestic violence story. So in May, the sister of Nicole, a young lady who was tragically murdered at the age of 17 by someone who was a boyfriend to her. And the sister, the murderer, had been in jail and was coming up for parole. And her sister was on a campaign to stop him from being successful with that request. And she came on the podcast to share the story of what happened to her sister and what it has cost her family. And we did that episode in May. Our interview was in May. So last month, the parole board released the information that because of the information they had received from the campaign, people listened to the episode and people wrote letters in. The parole was not granted. So if you are a listener of this podcast, you have done something. You gave justice to that family. You gave justice to Nicole. And on this episode, I just want to say thank you to everyone who listened and everyone who shared. You see, for change to occur in this world, we need to throw our hearts in the ring. We can't be in a corner saying, oh, there should be change. We have to get involved in the change. And that is what we all did. And now that family can rest easy, knowing that justice has been served. Some days are really, really difficult when it comes to life. And you wonder whether anything you're doing is worth it. I don't know if you have ever been in those shoes. But at the end, you find out that the little that you're doing is making a difference. They say that little drops make an ocean. So if you have an opportunity to help someone, help them. If you're doing something and it seems like you can't see any benefit to yourself or to the world through what you're doing, don't let that deter you. Keep on going. Keep on doing. I was at a point I was thinking, this episode was in May. They had the meeting with the parole board around the same, I think May too or so. And it's been so long. No feedback. It took them months to make a decision. And they made that decision in November. So June, July, August, September, October. Almost 6 months. It took almost 6 months. So what are you doing that you're wondering, I've been doing it for so long and it's taking so much time and there's no feedback. And I can't see the needle being moved. I just want you to be encouraged with Nicole's story. Knowing that the needle is moving, even in places you can't see. So, I just wanted to share that with us today. 2022 is coming to an end, and a lot is happening. People are thinking about their goals. People are thinking about how their year went. And I'm one of those people. And as I thank you for Nicole's story, for helping with Nicole's justice, I also want to thank you for sticking with me. And I also want to encourage you to take time to think about 2023, to get ready, because it's going to be an amazing year. As we run down 2022, I had some announcements I wanted to make on the podcast, but this has been a very difficult time. Today's episode is one for the books. I'll forever remember what it cost me. So I will not be able to make those announcements today again, and I will have to do them sometime before the year ends. But one thing I can tell you is there will be some changes in the podcast and just tweaks to make it better, to make the presentation of information better, to make your experience better. I'm working on a private group where some of those who have tips and tricks that can help us in our journey of life will be able to come and teach us on a deeper level. And so those details will be shared in the coming weeks. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for Nicole. Thank you for everything you're doing. And like I always say, as we keep doing, mercy won't stop us. Let's hang in there. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day and see you next time.